Rosie Hardy Gardening here. To heat or not to heat? Well, it depends on what you're storing and what you have in the way of plant material that you've got to take in. Obviously, if you're in a country where you get very cold temperatures, then you're going to have to do something. Here in the UK, with the soaring cost of electric and also gas, what can you do? I suppose the answer to that is you either stay with something that you've already got, which is a small electric heater and maybe a little gas heater that you've got in your greenhouses, or you do something slightly more simple, like make sure that it is covered within the greenhouse with bubble plastic or equivalent. The best thing you can do with your greenhouse is try and insulate it as best you can. Even if you just insulate small areas, because you can keep one small area much, much warmer by doing that. Horticultural fleece is really, really good to help with over just ordinary plants, and you can wrap it all the way around them. Pots can be wrapped with bubble plastic or anything like that. We all hate to have a load of bubble plastic. It's sent to us in wrapping and all that. It's getting less and less, but if you've got it, utilise it, use it, don't throw it away. It makes a very, very good insulator. Here on the nursery, we have heated beds. The heated beds are basically on top of polystyrene. Then there is a layer which is basically an electric blanket. This is a hot box. It is a silver metal film with heated wires going through it. Then it gets covered with a bit of plastic, then capillary matting, and then we have the final piece on top of that, which is a bit of perforated film, so that the capillary matting doesn't get too dirty, and that keeps everything moist. Now we've got it in a large scale in here, but the equivalent of this is the good old-fashioned heated wires that you would put in a sand bed and then cover with sand, and you could put either your trays on top of that, or you can insert your cuttings directly into the sand bed, and those can be made quite easily for you as a person at home. Utilising solar panels, all of this will help you to keep your garden and your favourite plants that you don't want to lose through the winter just a little bit more tucked up for the winter, as though they are in their own little duvet. Do you use lights? That's up to you. Lights are not really needed through the winter because most things have gone into dormancy. You might need lighting later on, so when we come into the spring and say we get really, really grey, cold spring days, you may need some supplementary lighting then. Don't use your standard lights that you get in the house. They are not good enough. They don't give the correct spectrum of light for plants to grow. You'll get leggy growth. You won't get lovely short compact growth. So there are new little LED systems that you can get, and you can buy these off the internet. Just be careful which sites you actually search for those though. So instead of using supplementary lighting, just put your seeds in a bit later when the natural sunlight is there. That will help you save costs on electrics. So we've been talking about heating and lighting for those people who are trying to do and look after perhaps some tropical stuff. But a lot of the stuff that you have, so say pelargoniums or that sort of thing, you don't really need to have them heated. So consider the fact, do you need to keep these plants in that way, or can some of them move into the house and the rest stay in a greenhouse that is basically cold but has been insulated? Do remember there are plants that require cold units, so therefore moving them in and keeping them from getting frosted is not going to make them flower next year. So consider, what do you actually need to move in and what do you leave outside, because they are perfectly hardy and they can cope with the cold weather. Thank you very much for listening. Please do subscribe to the channel.